Hi, everybody. This is Jonas Anderson, and this is my community mapping project. There we go. Community mapping project by Jonas Anderson. The community that I work in is Madera Unified. I'm at Madera High School. So this is after some extensive interviews with the students and some of the faculty there. This is what I came up with. Um, Madera High School is like right in the middle of Madera. It's very close to downtown. But Madera is also growing really quickly, and it's expanding sort of on all sides. So it's going north, it's going south. Most of you guys who are familiar with the area have probably heard of Madera South High School, which is like a half mile away from the high school that I work at. So that's just gives you kind of an idea of how quickly the population is exploding there. Um, Lots of housing developments, but still close enough. Like there's a lot of country that's right outside of the housing developments, so it's kind of a nice mix between like a suburban area and still sort of rural. There's going to be another high school opening in a couple of years. So, but the city is super spread out. So that's Madera High is just right in the middle of all of it. Here you can kind of see a map. So if you notice, the 99 kind of cuts across this map here, and everything, it's funny, everything north, that is really bizarre. I guess like kind of northeast of the 99 goes to Madera South, and everything on the southern and western side of the 99 goes to Madera High School. So, it looks like some pretty creative mapping there, but whatever. Um, the central kind of nucleus that you see there is central Madera, and that you can see how far and wide the map goes. So outside of that kind of center square there for Madera High, that's all country stuff. So I wrote here, in a single high school, there's an incredibly wide disparity of cultural and socioeconomic strata. I do have a lot of farm workers, and I've got people who are in business for themselves, retail workers, food workers, all kinds of stuff. In the city, 70% of Madera citizens have a high school diploma, 13% have a BA. Um, Not a lot going on that's much higher than that. So, that gives you some information there. Um, I actually gave out surveys to almost all of my 150 students about the population and community of Madera. So for some of the students, the community is a little bit more of an enclosed virtual community. I asked where they hung out. They're like, nah, I hang out at my house, or hang out at my girlfriend's house, or I'm on YouTube, or whatever. They actually don't get out that often. About 30% or so don't use actual social gathering places. Um, so that's that. A bunch of students. I go to church, and so I had asked the students about church. About 60% used to attend church, which is kind of consistent with a lot of religious studies that say like that the junior high school time is the time that students are most, or it's the time that people are most likely to kind of become disengaged with church. Um, so a lot of them still go, but the attendance is super irregular. We call them CEOs, Christmas and Easter only. Um, the common church was St. Joachim, but almost every student that I talked to pronounced it Joachim. Um, it's a Catholic church, and so most of the students are actually non-practicing Catholics. So there are other students. There's a couple that went to a Baptist church called Mount Zion, which is also in Madera. And I have one student that goes to a Sikh church, but it's in Fresno. It's not. I'm not aware of any Sikh temples that are in Madera. But she was super heavily involved in their church, and I figured that was really cool. Um, there you go. So the public park system, the more I talked to these students, the more that they were excited about public parks. There are three of them that are fairly close to the high school: Courthouse Park, Lions Park, and Rotary Park. And I just realized, since I'm using screen capture stuff, I can probably do this. Let's see. let's do this. Ignore this text message, please. So if you're looking right here is where Madera High School is. And then the three parks are, so here's Madera High School. Boop. Here's Courthouse Park. A lot of students that are walking home from school, so they'll go to school with me here, and then they'll actually go up Yosemite, and they'll pass Courthouse Park on the way home. The other one is Lions, which is a really big one, right up the road here. And then the third park that sees a lot of action is Rotary Park right here. So all three of those were cited by students as being consistent places that they would hang out outside of school. So let's keep going. Of the three parks, everybody knew about folklorico dances that would happen at Rotary Park every couple of months. So Rotary Park is right up here. There's a lot of new construction all the way across on Schnoor and all in this area here. And this this kind of shopping center, you can see it's got both a Lowe's and a Home Depot. This is probably the closest to like a Shaw and Clovis over where we are right now in Fresno. So it's a lot of like kind of strip mall kind of stuff. So yeah, and Rotary Park is right here, and then this is the downtown area right here. So a lot of people really were bummed that there's no In-N-Out and no Chick-fil-A, and there's not a lot of like when there's a new restaurant or something in Fresno, people will go there and hang out. Not a lot of folks in Madera have that. The Sonic Drive-In is the place where people go hang out on a Friday night to show off their cars. Sonic is actually right up here. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Sonic, where are you? Sonic Drive-In. There it is. So yeah, you can see it's right next to this little strip mall area. This is where the Home Depot was. And Walmart, and right back here is Rotary Park. So again, just kind of for some perspective, there's the Sonic Drive-In, and then right here is kind of where my school is. Zoom in a little bit. There's Thomas Jefferson Middle School. That's where a lot of the students. So this is Thomas Jefferson Middle School. That's the feeder school for Madera High. This is Madera High. So you've got Madera High School, and then Sonic is kind of up here. It looks like a far distance. It's not. Like I can go from here up to Sonic and back on my lunch break. I only have about 45 minutes or so. So that's where a lot of the students from my school will go hang out on a Friday night. Or they'll go to Fresno's River Park or Fashion Fair Mall. And I asked them why, and they said literally there's just nothing to do in Madera. So to give you an idea of kind of where that is, here's Madera High School. Some students use Herndon and 99. There's a new shopping mall that kind of opened up there, but a lot of them end up at River Park, and a lot of them end up, here's Fresno State. So for some perspective, here's kind of where the Fashion Fair Mall is. So you can see like it's a pretty big distance between Madera and my high school, and where I teach, they'll be like, there's nothing to do here. Drive all the way down and go here, or they'll come down, take Avenue 12, and go over here to to the Fashion Fair Mall. So it's kind of a big disparity there. This is just kind of interesting. There's a ton of students that are involved in basketball at the local youth center after school. Let me show you guys where that is. So right after school, a lot of the students will, I'll kind of show you, this one. So I'll zoom in here so you can kind of see where we're at. Again, so I teach here. A lot of students, when they leave my school, they will go across Yosemite Avenue. You'll see that there's already one park that's right here. Right here is the youth center, where they have basketball games and stuff like that pretty frequently. A lot of students, even my non-athletic students, were like, yeah, let's go hang out after school. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Walking distance from school, safe place for students to hang out, no supervision from parents or teachers. So there are people that work there, but nobody who's like a true authority figure. In the summers, they go to Swimming Pool Park, but that's actually right there. It's right in the same place. This is kind of for students that don't have a swimming pool in their house or in their apartment complex or whatever. Um, it's not super common, but it's common enough to where more than one student was like, "Oh yeah, swimming pool park." And we go there, or we used to go there when we were younger. So I'm a high school teacher, so a lot of my students are starting to get to that age where they're mobile, where they've got their own cars or whatever. So last one is the drive-in theater at Madera, and you can see in this image it's right next to Rotary Park. So here's Rotary Park. This is like a summertime thing. It's not necessarily, yeah, see, it's right here. It's not necessarily like a go take your date there on Friday night. The people that I talked to about it said that it's more of kind of like a family get together sort of place. So, and that's the other sort of recreational thing. So that's a bit of what Madera has to offer, as least as far as my students go. There are quite a few churches. Like I said, my community is predominantly Catholic. There's a lot of public parks, places for them to hang out. Um, as far as eating goes and socializing, there's not a lot in the city of Madera, other than, like I said, Sonic a lot of times on a Friday night to go show off their cars and doing the movie theater sort of as a family thing. So a lot of the community stuff is really sort of built into the texture of what happens at the schools or what happens like with their peers, so at the youth centers and the public parks. Um, Not so much with the churches and not so much with sort of like third places. Like I would have assumed that a Starbucks or something like that would have been someplace that the students go. There's a Starbucks right here, so it's plenty close enough for the students to be able to hang out there, but they don't. And there's a Round Table Pizza. There's a Me and Ed's right here also. Yeah, the places the students tend to gravitate towards are the open area parks. Um, the basketball areas right here, Rotary Park, and then family. So that is my presentation on the community mapping results of Madera, California. Thank you.